Hey, hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Craps, the actual show with John from Pro Craps here. Some of you I know joined me this morning, and I thank you now for joining me for the first ever Daily Paycheck show. And again, I'm watching some of the chats here. I do that from the garage. My craps table is in the garage. It's 14 feet. So although it would fit in the downstairs we have like a daylight basement down here. The room the only place that it really could fit is got our big sectional couch and our TV set that we used to watch football or movies. And if I put the craps table there, it would be the whole room. Like that room it would just take the whole thing, and we couldn't watch TV. So we chose to put it in the garage because of room reasons, and it's fine out there. The only thing with the garage is that it's a tall ceiling. So I have camera mounts coming today. So I'll try and get the cameras mounted to a better spot where we can see the table better. We have a good landing zone view and a good view of the bedding area, which is nice. But where the camera stand is, the big, what do you call it? The big tripod is for the bedding camera. It's right in the way. Like when I'm throwing, my whole left side is leaning against the camera stand and jiggling it. So I'm too close to it's not a good setup yet. So I'll work on that. Also out there, that computer only has 2 inputs, so I can get 2 cameras into it, and that's it. So I can't have a third view of the shot, right? And because I'm using some crappy old software for that computer, I can't get the roll tracker to work. It's either the DI roll tracker, the nighttime one, or it's the daytime. I can't share them, right? Can't switch it out. So give me about a week. We'll have a new computer down there and I'll get the cameras remounted. It'll be a better setup. And so the plan is, and I guess I'm kind of jumping ahead here a little bit, but the plan's going to be this. The Daily Paycheck show, which we started today, I'll go from bottom up here. The idea is, like this morning, we're going to go out there with 5K. I'm just going to play a strategy straight through. We're not going to deviate from the strategy. I'm going to play it like I would code it in Win Craps. Basically, it's just going to be like on autopilot, where Vince or myself or Steen could run Win Craps on a strategy script, 10,000 rolls, and see what happens. I'm going to do the same thing out there. So what I wanted to get, and we got it today, actually. We had a loss today of $600. I would like to get results like today, because I think you can see where the ebbs and flows of this game come from. And I'm actually going to address this hardcore in the Daily Dose of DI, because I was throwing DI style today. And I want to talk about what happened out there, because I think it's really important to see the rhythm of this game and how it works. And there's a question that a subscriber had asked, and I think today's roll actually kind of answers the question. So I think it's going to be a good one to talk through. But anyway, that was the first one. I really want to get to the point where we have other games, and we talk about this all the time. I want a poker group. I want a roulette group. I want blackjack and BJ and whatever else, and a baccarat, to have shows on CGTV as well as just we're all craps right now, and have those folks do daily paychecks too, and let us watch a blackjack player or a baccarat player get their daily paycheck the same way I'm doing here. So we're kind of setting the standard, or setting the tone, or setting the expectations, I guess, of what that show is going to look like for other games. So again, I think my long-term vision for this particular channel is that it's going to get enormous, and that's what I'm trying to find ways to build this thing up, I think, beyond just craps. So that show in the morning is for us, me and y'all. Hopefully it expands out and other people do the same thing. That's the idea. So, all right. Other things, Friday night fights, Colonel Potter versus somebody. I'm not sure what's going to be yet. Alfredo from Texas Crap Shooters is next up, but he's in Vegas winning all kinds of money. Ziggy, I think, is next behind him in the list. I'll contact Ziggy and see if he's able to play again. Behind Ziggy is Jeff from Mid-Atlantic Craps, who's also in Vegas. And then I think Buckeye Slim is the next in the list. So there's only 4 people in the queue. So please, if you want to play in the Friday night fights, get in there, sign up for it. Just go to the casinogaming.tv, get signed up, and it's free. It's just 2 button clicks and you're basically in. So let's do that. The other thing is the Battle Royale, which is tonight. Chiro versus Chris in round 3 of 6. And tonight's going to be a right side battle. So they're going to battle only right side bets. There's no hedging. There's no Darkside. There's no hybrid bullshit. It's just going to be put it out there and let's hope the dice roll well. Craig from Old Bay is going to deal this one out. So it'll be on this channel. It'll be my basic screens and setup, but Craig's camera coming through, and Craig will be the voice and the hands that you watch today. So that's going to happen tonight. I think at 6 or 6:30. I think it's at 6. Yeah, 6 tonight. So there's that. That's our opening salvo here, right? Friday night fights, battle royale, daily paycheck. While I'm on the screen, let's give some shout outs to the guys in the Big AZ Blue Inch crew. They're all out there in Vegas right now. Varying degrees of success, right? We watched Big AZ play the stadium craps last night. That was a fun. I don't know how they filmed that, because when I went in there, that same stadium craps where they played last night, I was in there with my camera out, just like taking a picture of it, and I got 3 security guards basically escorting me out of the whole area. How he's able to film that stuff, I don't know. Maybe he's got like a GoPro around his neck. I don't know, but it was cool to watch that. It's cool to watch them play and have a good time and hoot and hollering, and that's what it's all about. I know there's trip reports coming out from Jeff and from Alfredo and some others. Anyway, give them your support, give them your good luck, and hopefully they all come home with some extra money in their pockets. But it's fun to watch them play. And I said last night in my show, I'm like, man, I got a little bit of FOMO here. I wish I was out there playing with everybody, but ain't made of money. Can't go to Vegas every time somebody else does. I got to save my pennies for the Craps-a-thon, which is coming up. So why don't we talk about that a little bit here? Let's do the Craps-a-thon thing. Here's the deal. We got November 18th and 19th at Casino Quest. Don't book your hotels yet. You can start looking for flights, but the big update I've got for you here is that Michael Feldman is on the case. He's a Golden Touch instructor, as you probably know, and he's a dice player, as you probably know. He's also a casino host. He works with Caesars Entertainment, so he's working on getting us a block of rooms and discounts for us. So give me a couple of days with him. I talked to him yesterday. He's on the prowl right now, finding us places to be on the cheap. So yeah, don't book a room. If you haven't already booked a room, don't book a room just yet. Feldman's going to be giving us the hookup there. He's also agreed, he wants to do this actually, take part in some kind of a throw off, whether it's him and a bunch of other kind of heavyweight names in a dice off. We can raise some money with that too, like betting on the guys you think are going to do well, whatever. So Feldman's in for that for sure. He'll for sure do an interview with us and do maybe like a virtual lesson kind of a thing. So he's going to be a big asset to us in this thing. So that's the first kind of lock-in that we've got, is him doing some sessions with us, but also hooking us up, I hope, with some hotel things. So, and again, if you want to be a part of this, we need help, right? Ian and I are going to do some work. Jen has offered, the Justice Jen, who, by the way, is here in Seattle. We got to play yesterday. She's going to help out a little bit. She has some ideas. But we need like bodies, right? I need like people that are good at organizing things, that want to help with shipping and kind of all the moving parts of this thing. So if you're interested in being a part, let me know. Just drop me an email or get in Discord and we'll get it figured out. We'll start. We got to get going pretty quick. We got about, I don't know, it's going to come fast. We got like basically 6 weeks to go here. So that is that. Now I want to talk to Chiro a little bit. So Chiro, the Mid-Mo-Yo question of the week was about railbirding. About, you're at the rail, you're doing your thing, you're playing, the phone rings, or you get the text from your spouse, it's time to go, or how you doing, or whatever. You step away from the table, you answer your task, you get your head down, you're doing your thing, you go back to your table, and you look down, and your chip rail is emptier than it used to be. Now, there's a lot of potential reasons for that, right? The reason for it is probably somebody stole your money. Like, let's call a spade a spade. Somebody probably stole your money. Reasons why you allowed it to happen were twofold. And I'm going to go to the camera view here, and I want to talk to you about this at the table. So if you don't mind, I'm going to switch screens really quick, and we're going to zoom in. And I've got a chip rail sitting here on my table, and this came up. I think you mentioned it, Chiro. I know that Joe from Craps Master Journeys mentioned this too, about setting your rack up. Now, I set my rack up in the quadrants, as you know. I usually have my bankroll, to me, is back right. What I'm playing with, like my next 250 is up here in the front left. My white chips are over here in the back left, and I use my white chips as, this is my vig money, this is my drink money, whatever. That's how I set my rack up. Now, if the rails are wide, and some of them are wide, you're going to be, basically, your money's going to be right where somebody else's arm is. like this. Their arm is right next to your money on either side of that. So, you know, a tactic that you can use to help yourself a little bit, two things. One is use lammers, right? I don't care if you use my lammers, you know, go to Amazon and buy the clear acrylic ones. They're cheap, right? Buy lammers and separate your money. I know it's kind of hard to see this, but I'll put the chips up here. Hopefully you can see them a little better. You see the whites in between? I separate my chips with lammers. That way I know how much money's in my rack. I never, ever, ever, ever have a question of what I got sitting here. I know right now that I got $1,000 sitting here. That's four shots at 250. I got 250 in profit. I know what's in my rack all the time. So if I step away and I come back and I look down, I go, man, my rack looks short. I would never say to you my rack looks short. I would say my rack is short because I know 100% what's in my rack all the time. Now, using the ends like I do with my quadrants, right? Bankroll, profit, play, and tip money can be dangerous if you're at a super crowded table because the person next to you can just go like that and take your money. It's not hard to literally just go like this and grab money out of your rack, okay? Which is what happens. So a thought is move your money to the middle of your rack, like so. Have your quadrants in the middle and put white chips on the outside, like so. Get the lammer in here, I'll put a separator and a white chips on the outside and my play stack money up in front like this. Profit in front, facing me, like so. The reason for that is this. First of all, if you move it into the middle, now you gotta have this action. Instead of just grabbing it like this, where the money was over here and they can just go and pull out, now they gotta come in, right? Move to the middle of your rack, they gotta actually, my chips are slippery, but they gotta come inside the rack to get money. If they come inside the rack and you have your white chips surrounding your actual betting money, the pinky is gonna grab white chips. The whole hand's gotta be at, that's obvious. The whole hand's more obvious and more bold. So put your smallest denominations on the outside. That's a way to hide, or not hide, but protect yourself. I think Nchiro mentioned it, and that's what he was talking about. If you haven't seen this technique used, surrounding your actual bankroll with white chips is a way to kind of stop the railbirds. Now, the real question is, and Nchiro asks this every week, what do you do? Let's say I stepped away. Let's say I wasn't doing this. Let's say I had my regular John setup, and I'm on my whites on the left, and my bankroll over here on the right, got my profit over here, and my play money, and I step away to take a text from Kathy. Somebody railbirds me from over here, this side over here, somebody takes that money out, and I come back from the text, and I go, shit. Like, I know I had play money, and I know I had 4 shots, not 3. Like, my hair, I know, right? What do you do? And like Chiro said too, the guy's gone. That your neighbors have left, or one of them at least has left, and your money's gone too. What you got to do is go to the pit immediately. Go to the pit immediately for 2 reasons. First of all, you're not gonna get your money back. Okay, let's get one thing straight. The casino will not replace your lost chips. Okay, once they're in the rail or they're on the felt, those checks are your responsibility. So they're not gonna replace them. However, they will know who was at the table with you, right? So a quick alert, like immediate alert, get the towel in your thing, go to the pit, and just got railbirded, and they'll go to the tape. And it won't hold the game up. You'll have the spot open where you were standing. They will go to the tape immediately and figure this out. They got the facial recognition, they got all the things. They'll figure out who it was and take care of business. Okay, so casinos take theft very seriously. You might think that they're out there to screw you, and to some degree they are with some of the game rules that they have, but they're a service company. They don't make money unless we're making money and we're happy, right? They want us back and happy. Somebody stealing from their customers, they take really personally. I guarantee you that your 250 means as much to them as it does to you, because that sets a bad precedent. That person who took your money, if they can find them on camera with any kind of facial rec, they'll be done. Right, they'll be done. The gaming commission won't stand for that. The casino itself won't stand for that. You won't get your money back unless they catch the guy with your chips. But it is what it is. You want to make sure that you're helping the casino clear those assholes out of the mix. So that's my answer, Chiro. There's your here's the deal answer from me. I think it's a combination of things. I think, and also I should say this too, and I should probably be remiss if I didn't demonstrate this as well. if your money's here, and like, I would never, like I would do this all the time, and I'll be out here, and I can text with this hand, but I'd be out here. I'm always got a hand on the rack. Like I never leave my rack unattended. If I did, the white chips would help, but I'm always got a hand in and hand over it. And when I'm shooting, I shoot like this. I have my hand leaned over, and that's how I shoot. I grab the dice and I set them and I shoot, and I move my hand here and I stand back and look at the dice. I make my bets, and I'm always here. I always have my hand covering my chips whenever I can, unless I'm called away from the table. And if I get called away, I ask for a towel to cover. Again, they aren't responsible, but the towel is at least a courtesy that they provide. So take care of your rack. Be on your rack. Make sure you know what's in it by some system. Make sure you protect your money when you're there, and that's my advice. So there's your there's your answer. Railbirds suck. That's like, to me, that's one of the most disrespectful things that you can. I mean, I can't even. I don't know. You know what I mean? I couldn't go there. I could no sooner take somebody else's hard-earned money off a table. That's just bullshit. But people do it. And if you watch, like one of my favorite shows, like those Vegas Cheaters Exposed shows on like History Channel or whatever else, those are great because you can see all the techniques that people use, and you can learn from watching those idiots what they do and how the casinos just deal with those people. Ways to kind of be safe back there. So there you go. Be safe back there from the Railbirds. All right. What's next? What is next? Oh, we got to talk about this today. This is a comment from a subscriber, and it's a long one, so I'll read it to you. It says, has it occurred to you? This is, again, he's giving me grief here about my practicing, because I'm practicing, as you know, every night I roll 100 rolls. I'm getting to 20,000. And it's funny to me, sad, not funny. It's sad to me that some people are pissed off that I'm even doing it. This is a person that's pissed off that I'm even doing the exercise, okay? I'm not out there writing a book, selling a book, making a video to kind of make money off this thing. I'm literally throwing 20,000 rolls and not betting just to see, is it possible to get good and create some variance? I'm just seeing, this is my non-scientific, scientific experiment to see if it's possible. This guy and other people are just mad that I'm even doing it. And it really pisses me off, right? Here's his comment. Has it occurred to you, and again, you got to picture the snarky mouth that's writing this. Has it occurred to you that if you log 20,000 random chucks, you would still get the same bell curve shape as any dice set or mechanics that you use? In other words, it's a big waste of time. This guy's at it all the damn time telling me what a waste of time this is, and it's bullshit, and blah, blah, blah. And by the way, come bets with max odds. That's the only way to play craps. Cool. Donate your 2% to the casino and don't fucking play. Sorry for the language, but that's how I feel about this. This is a lazy answer to this, or lazy thought to this whole thing. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with it being perfect bell curve. And this is a person who doesn't know how to think deep, apparently. Here's the deal, guys. You can have, and I'll use 36 rolls. 36 rolls of perfect distribution, right? You get exactly the number of 6s and 5s and 10s and whatever else you got, right? You can have 2 hands that are PSO, 3 hands that are a 1 horn number, 1 box number, and a 7, 5 hands that suck all your money out, right? 120 roller. You make a point, you get some horns, 15 box numbers, and you're great, right? Perfect distribution. That's random Randy right there, right? Then you get me, right? You just watched me do this. You just watched me for an hour do exactly this here. 6 hands of 6 rolls. I set a point. I had a horn number here and there, 3 or 4 box numbers, and I 7 out. How many of those rolls did I do this morning in the daily paycheck were 6 or 8 rolls? I had 1 PSO in that whole thing this morning. This is what we're talking about, right? I guarantee you my rolls today, perfect bell curve. We had the same number of 7s as the same number of 4s and 10s. We had even distribution of horn numbers and box numbers. I guarantee you I was random today. In terms of the bell curve, my rolls today were fan-fucking-tastic. Sorry for the language again. Fantastic today, right? We had great distribution. We had great roll lengths. We had perfect, small, easy to follow roll lengths. That was the point of practicing. The point of practicing is not to go 2 7s out of 36. You're going to get your 6 7s out of 36. I just want them to be where I can expect them to be for the most part. Okay. Now, what we saw today was this interesting distribution where the 7s came ahead of the 4s and 10s. At the end of the day, the roll distribution, I guarantee you, was even. They came in different rhythms today. And I think that's part of this whole thing, right? The rhythm of the game is an interesting thing. You still get the random distro, but I think that the DC, the DI, is trying to slice it in better ways. Now, you can't pinpoint numbers. Nobody's saying they can. If you could snipe numbers, I'd roll hard 4s and hard 10s all morning and we'd be out of there in 5 minutes. You can't really snipe numbers, right? But you can work your throw, you can work your sets and kind of give yourself a chance. And that's what we're doing here. So yeah, 100%. I expect the perfect random bell curve. I expect my SRR to still be 6 when I'm done with this whole thing. If it's 6.2 or 6.5, big deal. I expect it to be a 6. But I expect within that SRR of 6 that I've got great roll distribution, that I've got great hand configurations. That's what I'm looking for. And to me, this kind of an answer and calling people a child because they believe that something is fantasy, that's lazy and it's bullshit and it's not welcome here. So if you're gonna come at me on dice control, come at me with something meaty. Don't come at me with this kind of bullshit right here, okay? Without doing your research and without really understanding, again, grown-up style, what perfect distribution can look like, okay? It can look like crap or it can look pretty damn good depending on how you're shooting and if you're in some kind of a controlled zone. And that's what it's all about. All that to say, this may be complete bullshit. And I'm perfectly honest about that. I may get 20,000 rolls and find out that I can't do it. That it's luck of the dice, it's completely random, and it was a waste of time. It may be a waste of time, but I'm gonna go through the effort to prove that it's a waste of time. I'm not just gonna go spouting from the freaking rooftops because I think I'm a know-it-all. And that's not how I'm gonna work. So I'm gonna give you transparency. I'm gonna work it hard every single day. That's how it's gonna be. So there it is. Sorry for the rant, but it kind of pissed me off last night when I read that because to me, and I said this the first episode of Daily Dose of DI that I did, don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. If you're gonna dispute this or whatever, come at it with something meaty. Don't come at me with I'm a child for trying it. And that's what that person basically said. So there it is. That's my Daily Dose of DI. Sorry for the rant, sorry for the swearing, but I get fired up sometimes, and that's how it is. All right, let's move on. We got to talk about this. Last couple of weeks, we did badass craps moves. Light side, badass craps moves. We have 8 of them. I put a poll out in the Coffee and Craps channel on Discord to vote on the ones you like the best. The ones we like the best, I'll put a top 5 video out. And I'll play them out, I'll give them some rolls, I'll really do a good explanation of them. I've got videos like this planned for badass Darkside moves, which we're gonna start today. I've got videos, the top 5 regression strategies, the top 5 right side strategies, the top 5 dark side strategies. So moves, one or 2 rolls. Strategies are a way of playing. So I want to get into like some dark side craps moves today. And we'll do the first one here, which is a don't pass and a 2x lay 9, right? Or a lay 9 in multiples of 30. And I think that's the skill and luck way to do this. So let's go ahead and head back there again and kind of work through some of this. So the notion here, and this comes from Greg over at 555 to start with, and the skill and luck basically, I don't want to say enhanced it, but added some thought to it. So here's how it works. We're going to go with, we'll go with a $30 don't pass. Okay. And $30 is, I'll offset them a little bit so you can see the chips. $30 is a nice round number. It works for the don't pass. It works for everything. So when you get into odds play, $30 works really well. Now here's 30 at risk. And I will tell you this, point should be taken here. The best bet on any craps table is that bet with this on. Like that's it. Like the 7, a bet on the 7 with the puck is on, you're favored over every single number. But that's a hard bet to get there. So what skill says, let's go ahead and hedge the come out roll. So where puck is off, and let's hedge it for at least 2x at the $30 level. So you do a $60 lay 9. That pays you $40. Okay, 60 pays 40. you lose your 30. So you're net up $10. Okay, so you're gonna hedge with the 9 to win 10 on a come out 7. Now it doesn't protect you against the 11. I don't believe in protecting the DP against the 11. And I'll tell you why, just kind of a philosophical thing. Because we know that there are 1 ways to roll a 2, which you get paid on, 2 ways to roll a 3, which you get paid on, and 2 ways to lose the 11, which you lose on. You have 3 to 2 here. Okay, you're actually an advantage by 1, probability-wise. Here, if you just count the 2, 3 versus the 11, you take care of the 7, which also beats you with something like this. And if that 9 gets picked off, fine. You know, let's say the point becomes a 9, you lose your 60. That's cool. I would literally go $60 right back on it and take that in odds, right? I would just go right back and get that $60 back this way here. Again, you would win 30 and 40, you'd win $70. You can put your $60 back, you're net up $10. Either way, you're up $10, right? And that's actually an okay way to do this. Okay, hitting 2 9s. Although today I hit 6 9s downstairs or out in the garage. But that's a way. So here's the move. The move is simply this. It's going to be lay the 9 against the come out, let the 7 roll, and who cares? Let's get a roll and see what happens. We have a 4. That's beautiful. Because check this out. Lay bet comes down. You need the lay bet for 1 roll. Survive that come out roll. The lay bet comes back to your rack. And now you got this. Greatest bet in the casino. Right there, the greatest bet in the casino. Right? The flat bet. You're getting paid 1 to 1, which seems crappy, but you're a 2 to 1 favorite. You're getting 1 to 1. Normally you got to lay, right? You go college football and it's Middle Tennessee State versus Alabama, right? Alabama's going to win that game every single time. You're going to have to bet $1,000 to win 100. Normally, right? Imagine betting $1,000 and winning $1,000 when Alabama beats Middle Tennessee State, right? Think about that. That's this. Middle Tennessee State and Alabama. Roll Tide. Roll Tide, Waylon. Roll Tide. This is the best bet. To get to that, you have to do this. Some kind of a lay. So the move, the badass craps move here is a lay. Skill recommends laying the 9. He's got a dice set that he believes is a no 9s dice set. I proved today that I can throw some 9s, but I might lay the 5. Some people will lay the 6. It doesn't matter what you lay up here. It's a lay bet to get the don't through. That's it. The magic of this one here is the numbers. It's $60 versus 30 because it makes sense, right? You're going to win 40 up here. You'd lose 30. You replace the 30. You pocket 10 on the come out 7. If we hit a 9, let's run that out. We hit a 9. You lose your $60. So you're down $60. You're going to go right back out with a $60 lay on the don't. When they 7 out, and they probably will, you're going to get paid like this. You're going to get paid. I'll use the losses that we had from up here to pay ourselves. We're going to get paid $30 flat. Here you're going to get paid $40. So you're going to get paid all of your losses plus $10. So either case, you're at $10. If the 7 out comes on the, or 7 comes in a come out, you're up 10. If they make the point and knock you off and you still get the 7, you're going to win $10. Now, of course, they can hit the 9 a second time and you're be completely screwed, but that's also craps. Now, if they, the point's not a 9, the point's a 6, you're in a great spot. You're in a really great spot here. And I think you can do the hedgeopotamus thing and you can drop whatever. You can even that out and bet a $30 6 if you want to, but you're still, again, that's a better bet than this is. What's a better bet? Every time, that's a better bet. We'll put on the 8 here. That's a better bet than that or that. Every time. Every time, that's the better bet. So there's your badass craps move. It's a simple craps move. It's just basically laying a number to get a don't pass out. It's basics. It's Darkside 101 stuff, but we forget about it. We tend to forget about it. Even when I do the horseman, I forget that. The horseman, as you know, it's a don't pass and 3 come bets. I could do a much better job of playing the horseman like this and laying my 9 ahead of time because the horseman starts out like that. It starts out with the don't pass. I should be doing this and then going with the come bets afterwards. So there it is. There's your badass craps move brought to you by Skill and Luck. 555 Craps. That's who gets credit for that move today. And again, that's been out there for 100 years. They're the ones that have kind of talked about it online more than anybody else. So there it is. That's the first badass craps move. Now, Brian, I saw Brian fly through the chat here. And I'm going to invite Brian and everybody else. Oh, you're right, on point. Then it's not hedgeless, right? Yeah, that's funny. You're so funny. It's just the horseman in that case. But I invite Brian and everybody else. If you got a badass Darkside craps move, and again, I'm not talking about a full strategy. I'm talking about a move, right? I think Brian for a while was doing like a $25 don't and like and this is not. I don't want all the hedging, right? $2 this and $1 or $1 midnight. That's not a move, right? It's interesting though, and I want Brian to submit that again to me. I'll show that this week as a way to get this bet out. Now remember, when you're hedging here, okay, and for on point, here's what I mean by hedgeless, right? If it's that and I put $2 on the yo, I'm hedging that bet. That's the hedge. This up here is protection. It's different. Protection and hedging are two different things. But that's a slow bleed, as we know. That's going to take it away. And we get a point of 4. What happens to this? This goes away. What's that bet worth? You got to do that math too, right? What's the bet worth? If you hedge the 11, or like some people will do this, they'll hedge the 11 for 2, right? And they'll come up here to the 7s. I'm just going to put $15 on the ante 7, which that's not even enough, right? 4 times that's not even. If we did $10 on the ante 7s, right? Let's say 333, $9. We'll do $9. 3 on each of the 7s. What's that bet worth when it becomes a 4? Right, you have $9 on the hopping 7s and $2 on the yo. That's $11, which means that bet right there is a $14 bet. Right? Remember what hedging does. It doesn't just bleed the money out of your rack. It devalues the bet that it hedged against, and that's a big piece of this. So that's why I like the one roll protection and pull down versus giving them money, because now you turned a $25 best bet in the house into an $11 or a $14 bet. So think about that. When you're hedging and you're bleeding money out of here, the devaluation of that is worse than Bitcoin going to $19,000. That's a big time devaluation of every single bet. The casinos love that. They love it. All right. Hope that made some sense. Now, if you've got more moves, I'm gonna go back to that screen again. Let's go back to here. If you got more moves, I got 5 here. We got the don't pass and don't come using laybats. We're going to lay the back wall. We're going to work the ricochet. We're going to work a traveling lay as a part of this. Excuse me. Any move you got, that's a Darkside, awesome, badass craps move, let me know. Now's the time to switch gears and go Darkside with me. And we'll do some of these every single day, and we'll give them a little bit of a rollout, and we can just see how they perform. So that's going to be the next kind of challenge for you. But before that, again, go back here. Let's go back one screen. Go back here and vote on the right side ones. Let's get a right side vote. I'll get the video filmed out, and we'll start working on dark side stuff this week, and maybe even roll some dark side strategies out here on the table as kind of our thing. At some point, we're going to do a dark side daily paycheck out in the garage too. Let's work through the 410 Bank Street first. All right. I think. Oh yeah, and regression moves are coming, of course, and that's it. So that's the show. That's what I got today. I may just roll a little bit. Yeah, using hops as a hedge is slow death. It's not even that it's a slow death, Brian. It's more like I said. It's the devaluation of the bet, right? You're giving money away, but when you win, you're winning half of what you had out there, right? And that's before you even hedge other things, right? If you have like a $25, let's do it. Let's run out there. I want to really talk about this because it's important. Here's what people get wrong. Here's a big math problem. Let's do it again. Let's say you've got 25 on the don't, you got $2 on the 11, and you've got $9 on each of the 7s. Okay, let's run all the scenarios and see what happens. Right? If an 11 comes, you're going to lose 9. You're going to lose 25. So you're going to lose $34, and you're going to win 30. So you only lost 4. Now you could make the 11 a $3 bet, in which case you'd win 45. $39. So you end up winning $6. Let's do that. Let's make it like that. Let's make a $3 yo. Okay, to win 45, to lose 39. Okay, so you win. Like I said, you're going to win $6 in that case. That's scenario one. Let's say that we roll a come out 7. We had $9 over here on the come out 7. Take this away. On a come out 7, you would lose. We may have to adjust these sizes. You'd lose 30. You'd lose 3, so you're going to lose $33. Okay, you'll lose 6 of your hops. So now you're down 25, 30, 35, $39, and a $3 pays $45. So again, you've got $39 here, you win $45, you win $6. Okay, big deal. You're not looking to win money on those hedges, you're looking to save money with the hedges. Now let's say that we don't get it. And here's the mistake. All that's good, right? I get it. We're all scared about losing money. That all makes sense. But let's say we get a point. Let's say a point gets established. We had $3 here, we had $9 here, and we got a point of 8. Doesn't matter what the point is. How much do we lose? 5, 10, $13 are lost. $13 are lost on the come out being established, which means from $30 minus 13 is $17. That bet there is worth $17. I'm going to put it in front of you so you can see it. It's worth $17. But what people do when they have this bet out, they go, oh, cool, I got $30 on the don't. Now I can go and bet whatever. Let's do a $18 6 and 8. Or let's do 12s. Minimum bet. We'll do $12 6, $12 8. And they think I'm in great shape. I'm in great shape because I have 30 to protect 24. I did it. I hedged. I'm the perfect craps player. Well, the reality is you don't have 30 to protect 12. You've got 17 to protect 12. So if the 7 comes, it ends up being a net $5 win. You see that? You did all that work for a nickel at the end of it. Okay. It can be worse if you are doing even worse math and you're going, well, let's go to 18 on these. Let's make these things look like 18. And I'm going to take a crack at it here. Okay. I got 30 to protect 36. And they're like, yeah, I'm upside down a little bit. That's okay. I can handle a $6 loss if I get a 7. Well, if a 7 comes here, you're going to lose 36 and only win back 17 of it. You actually end up being at a loss of $15 over here if that were to happen, right? The bad math is if you're going to try and play a little hedgy or a little hybridy, you got to take into account what that bet's worth after your hedges. It's worth $17. The most you're allowed to bet up here in that case is 12 on each. The most you're allowed to put up there is 17 total dollars, is 14. That's all you can do. Remember what this bet's worth after you've lost your hedge. That's where the bleed comes in. The bleed comes in, and again, mental math. You got to make sure you're aware of what you have left after a hedge. That's why I don't hedge. I rarely hedge. I'll protect with a bet that I can pull. I like the lay bets that I can pull down. You'll see later this week we'll do a back wall lay, which is a guaranteed give up of some money at a higher level. That makes a little bit of sense. You can give up $30 to save 100, and I'll be okay with that. Okay, I'll put up at $100 don't pass. Laying the back wall makes sense. We'll talk about laying the back wall later this week, but at this level, a hedge where you lose a little bit of money can make a little bit of sense. There it is, folks. That's the second rant. I want to make sure I covered that because it's so important, right? Yeah, 17 to protect 24 is not enough money, right? Think about that, right? When you hedge all that out, $17 does not protect. It's not even enough money. You're going to lose, right? The 7 comes, you're going to win 17, you're going to lose 24, you're down. And you think you're up. You think you did a good job. You think you won $30 on that don't pass. You didn't win $30 down here, right? You lost, in our case here, you're going to lose $7, right? So think through that. As you're building your strategies, think through the value of the bets you have, especially when you're hedging stuff like that. So, all right, I think that's it. That's it. This is a long morning. Let's run this for a couple of weeks, right? I'm going to get up at 6. We're going to do the daily paycheck thing and then the show here. This becomes a 2-hour show. It's like back-to-back 2 things. If the daily paycheck goes fast, that's easy. If it goes today, like it went 56 minutes today, then it becomes 2 straight hours of you hearing me yap, which some of you may love, some of you may hate, but we'll see how it goes. Let's see if I can survive doing 2 straight hours in the morning every day with the 2 separate shows, and hopefully it goes well. And I should probably point this out too. Let me go back to the very first screen. Now let's see here. If you want to play along, so yesterday we had Ian over and Jen over, and I dealt and we all threw and had some fun. To me, the morning like daily paycheck thing, it can just be me doing it, but it'd be kind of fun if somebody else would join me on that. Not necessarily at the house because you can't all fly to Seattle, but join me live and we can take turns rolling and make money off each other daily paycheck wise. That'd be kind of cool, a cool thing to do. Once I get the Mac out in the garage, I can set up the guest camera to do that. That'd be super fun. So think about that. If you want to play along with me and just have a good old time, hit me up. Hit me up and let's figure it out. And with that said, it is 8:50. It's been, like I said, 2 shows back to back, long morning. I hope that was good information. Sorry about the swearing and the rant today, but it just pisses me off when people are lazy with their arguments. Give me a good argument. And a good argument is not the diamonds screw up your throw. That's not a good argument either. Because you can avoid the diamonds. So that's not even it either. We can debate DI all day long, but debate it like a grown-up. Debate it with actual meat on the bone. Don't give me some lazy crap answer. Sorry. I don't know why I get so pissed off, but there it is. All right. Tuesday? Happy Tuesday, everybody. It's trash day. I got to go take the garbage out and get to work. So y'all have a great day. Let me actually check questions. I see Jen's asking a question. Does Tulalip allow do we don't? No, they do not. Tulalip does not. No casinos in Washington allow do we don't. The way that, and I've railed about this before. The do we don't. I don't play it. I never show it on my channel because I can't play it. Every bet on the table has to be at risk for table minimum. That's the way that they look at that. So do we don't. One of those bets is not at risk for table minimum. That's why they won't let you do it. So you can't even up. Even if you went like 30 and 20, they still won't allow it because you're not at risk. I've tried it, so that's a bummer that you can't do that. Any other questions that came up today? Let's see. JR, high value checks in center. Yeah, 100%. Right, that's what we were talking about with earlier. Melodic XP, you saw me this morning, right? No matter what I was done today, we got beat too. So it sucks when it happens. How about PCs? Any PCs for me? Oh, Rob has already booked your timeshare. Cool. I have a friend of mine's got a timeshare somewhere out by South Point. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I will probably stay at Harrah's when Michael gets the rooms together. I was going to stay in a VRBO out in Henderson and drive in and just get a sense of what life is like living there. But I think given the activity we're probably going to have, I should be closer to the action. So, all right, folks, that's it. I'm going to bounce, get to work, do the trash. Y'all have a good day. I'll see you tonight for practice. I'll see you tomorrow morning again for the next daily paycheck. Hopefully tomorrow we can spin up a little bit of profit. I'll see you then. Have a good day.